Hi everyone! I'm back today with more of my Fleatale finds. It's the story of the items that I purchased from the flea market, a little brief history about them, what I paid for them. Come join me as I go through them. Let's start off with this piece that I got this week. So this is really interesting. This is called Kemper Glass. Now, this happens to be set in a 14 karat gold setting. It's marked both on the pendant and the chain. It's really interesting about Kemper Glass. See that starburst design? It got its start as morning jewelry. Although I haven't really seen it as morning jewelry, but that's what I've read about it. The term Kemper glass comes from the frosted look of the stones, which is achieved by treating the glass with something called vaporized hydrofluoric acid. This process subtly etches the glass, which sort of makes it look a little bit like rock crystal. So unless you're really familiar with Kemper glass, you would have to test it to see if it's rock crystal. But I've never, again, in my travels, I haven't seen something like this in rock crystal. So this is like, to me, typically Kemper glass. The stones are flat and have a starburst pattern on the back side of the stone to give it a look of a radiant stone. They started in the middle of the, in the middle of the 1880s. So what makes this one particularly nice is, as I mentioned, this one is in 14 karat gold, and that's actually a diamond in the center. Now, they embellished this with, it looks like under a loop, like some type of blue and green stone, perhaps like a turquoise here, but I'm not really sure. But that is definitely a diamond because I tested it. And then there are elements of, so these were really popular during the 1920s, the Art Deco period. And there are elements of also totally Art Deco in feeling. Really, really nice piece. And I got this at a sale and I paid $2 for it. Then the next piece that I got is this really spectacular bow pin. Look at the dimension, and I have to say it has a nice weight to it also. I mean, it's totally costume, but it's by Hollycraft. Let's see, where's the signature? I don't know if you can see that. Hollycraft was, they made a lot of things, but this was sort of their look with stones that were grouped together to sort of enhance each other. This one happens to be in pinks and the Aurora Borealis Rivoli stones here, all different shapes and styles. And I mean, this is just a breathtaking piece. And this one I actually paid $15 for, because you just don't see them around, and to me it's outstanding. I mean, look at that sparkle. Then I got this guy, and he is also by the company HAR, Hargo Designs. You may remember in one of my other videos that the dragon and dragon egg pin was by them, and they were not around for very long. He is called a Hillbilly Dog. That's his name. And he's just very cute. A lot of detail, nice enameling, and he comes in a series of, I think there's a hillbilly cat as well, but he's just so cute and collectible. And I think I paid $3 for him. Then, speaking of HAR, this is another one of their pieces, very big into enameling. Again, they made some really interesting, different dimensional, enameled, just wonderful, whimsical jewelry. And so this is, again, sort of one of those bypass bracelets. It's signed HAR, but it's very difficult for me to read it, even with a loop, but it definitely is. And it's part of a series of theirs. So this, I believe, came as a parure, which is a set. So a necklace, bracelet, earrings, brooch. And so this is just one one piece of it. Just really, really nice. And look at those whimsical, wonderful fish. Then I don't usually get watches, but I mean, oh, and that bracelet was $5. I don't usually get watches, but this one was a Tissot, I think you pronounce, or Tissot. And I think it was like $4 or something. So really nice watch, worth at least a couple of $100s. It's not vintage, it's new. But I just thought I could make money off of this one. So has also a really nice look. And then speaking of watches, I also, at a different time, and this one was again like $3 or $4. So this one is a Bulova. That's the back of the watch. And although these aren't diamonds or gold, I mean, it just has a really, really spectacular look. Look at all of those stones around the bezel. The face is actually mother of pearl. And again, it's a newer watch, but I thought I could make some money off of that one. Then another thing that I purchased that's with my jewelry is this. So I paid, I think, $12 for this. This is part of the Gucci accessories collection from the 80s, and it was just in really good condition. And you might want to check out one of my other videos. It's on a huge Gucci haul that I have, and I go through the items that I have picked up. It's really interesting. And so this was for keys and just has a really nice look to it. Imagine taking that out of your purse or your pocket and starting your car with it. Then I got this one, which was, I think, $5. So this piece, which is by Juma. Again, I don't know if you can see the signature there. Enameled, and this is sort of their form of one of their jelly bellies, but wonderful dimension, great enameling, just a really lovely piece. And Jomaz is, you know, Joseph Mazer and Mazer Brothers, and they all have their collectors. I think they have a similar look. Again, quite prolific, made a lot of really nice things. Then I got this sort of modernist piece. This is by Givenchy and signed Givenchy, and the designer, he actually designed, I don't know if many of you know this, but he was one of Audrey Hepburn's favorite designers, and he designed a lot of her clothing. I believe he designed the Breakfast at Tiffany. But just, they went so well together. And anyway, this is one of the pieces of jewelry from his company. To me, they don't really, his jewelry or this type doesn't necessarily match the clothing that he designed. Perhaps he let another company design it. But just, again, a really, really nice, very clean line, sort of modernist look. And this was probably made during like the 70s. And speaking of Givenchy, here is another piece of his, not to be confused with Gucci, because there's the double G. This is Givenchy, again, his initial. His name was Hubert, Hubert. That was his first name, and his last name was Givenchy. And this is another one of his sort of modernist clean line necklaces. I love his pieces, his older pieces. I mean, they're still making his jewelry now, which is very expensive. But there's just something about his vintage pieces, again, made probably during the 70s. Then I got this piece, which is by, I think this is another Jomaz piece, and just lovely. Look at these sort of moonstone looking glass. They look like a mixture between a moonstone and a star sapphire. You see that, how you see it within the piece, the cabochon, and all of the detail and rhinestone work. A lot of these pieces had, a lot of these companies, I'm sorry, had fine jewelers working for them and designing a lot of their pieces. I know Alfred Philippe from Trifari, he was an actual jewelry designer and then started working for Trifari. But this isn't by him, but just a magnificent, wonderful, wonderful, sparkly, amazing piece of jewelry. And I think this was $3. Then, now this is a newer piece, but I just thought it had a really good look, and these are actually collectible. So this is one of Lucky Brand pieces. This was $1, and their signature mark is, well, their name, and also their clover. And this is sort of their rocker bracelet. I mean, I just think that that has a really, really nice look to it. First, I thought it was sterling silver. It's base metal, which they mostly work in. They make really nice things. And this is one of their pieces. And then the last, or one of the last pieces that I got, these are by a company, SAL. They're collectible. I don't know that much about this company, but they were made very nicely. I thought maybe they were like a Dior pair, but they aren't. They're signed SAL, and they're collectible and have a very nice look, good quality crystal. And then I have this piece, which is, so this one is, oh, this one is by Art, A-R-T, and they also made very interesting jewelry, a lot of different styles. They made a lot. They were known for their Christmas trees, and this one has enameling and rhinestones, and I mean, when I look at it, I feel the holiday season approaching. And there's, I don't know if you can see their signature, and I think this was $2. So that is my, oh, one more piece that I forgot about. So this piece I picked up at a jewelry sale, and this was $5. It's silver. A lot of times they made these in 800 silver, so this is all filigree work, and this is cloisonné enamel. There are different types of enamels, but that is the type of enameling on here, which was found in much Chinese ware. And these are real stones. This is Chinese turquoise, and I'm trying to get in the light. Chinese turquoise and coral and little turquoise drops, and just wonderful, wonderful look. And it's a gold wash silver. Again, just a really lovely piece. So I hope you have enjoyed looking at my jewelry finds and listening to my Fleatale stories, and thank you for watching.